Hi, welcome. In today's class, I shall be discussing about the basic concepts of programming. One of the most commonly used term in today's world is software. What do you actually mean by the term software? Software is basically that field of computers that deals with the programming part. And the field of computers that deals with the physical components, study of physical components could be referred to as hardware, while that field of computers that deals with the programming part could be called as software. There are two types of software. One, system software. Two, application software. Programs that are written for the sake of the system are referred to as system software, and programs that are written for the sake of an user are referred to as application software. System software, without some of the system software, we shall not be able to, that is, the user shall not be able to interact with the computer. However, even without some of the application software, user can still be able to use the computer. So application software are built to suit the needs of different users, while system software are built for the proper functioning of the system. One of the most commonly used system software is the operating system. You all know that the computer is a dumb machine without the operating system. So, after having learnt this, now let us move on to the next question, that is, what is a program? A set of instructions that are written in a particular programming language in order for the computer to solve a problem could be referred to as a program. Why a program has to be written? The computer shall not be able to solve any problem without the user giving the instructions in a systematic manner. So the computer, you can't just ask the computer to do a job. You are required to also tell the procedure to solve that problem. So this procedure the user will be specifying in the form of a number of instructions in an organized manner, in an easy to understand, non-confusing and in a non-ambiguous manner. So these instructions, this group of instructions could be referred to as program. So in order to write a program, we need to make use of a programming language. A language that can be used to write a program could be called programming language. What are the types of programming languages? We basically have two categories of programming languages, namely high level language and low level language. What is a high level language? Now, if you are choosing a high level language to write your program, then such a program could be executed on any system that has any operating system. Such a language is called high level language. Now, what is low level language? If suppose, actually we have two types of low level languages, namely assembly language and the machine language. Let us assume that an user has chosen assembly language to write his program. Always remember, a low level language is machine dependent. That means if the user has decided to write the program using say for the processor 8085. So he shall be picking up the instructions from the instruction set of 8085 processor. Every processor, remember, every processor, that is the CPU that is present in the system, is associated with a different set of instructions, and whenever the user wishes to execute his program uh, for a particular processor, say for 8085, he is supposed to pick the instructions up from that particular instruction set. So the same program, if he wishes to execute on a different system that has a different processor, then the program cannot be executed. So that means all programs that are written using low level language such as assembly language are hardware dependent, while programs that are written using high level language are hardware independent. That means the same program whatever I have written using a high level language, I shall be able to carry this program onto any computer that has any hardware and that has any processor, and I shall be able to execute the problem and get the results. That means high level language programs are portable, while low level language programs are non portable. So now let us look at the types of high level language. We basically have two types of high level language, namely the first one is a procedure oriented programming language, or shortly they are called as POP, and the second one is object oriented programming language, shortly called as OOP. So the difference between POP and OOP is, in case of POP, we never care for the security of the data. The data can freely move around the system, while in case of OOP, data is protected. Any external entity will not be able to access the data that is present in a particular entity. So more focus is given towards the protection of data in case of OOP, and there is no protection for the data in case of POP. You can consider POP as first generation type of high level languages, while OOP is the next generation of high level language. Okay. The programs that are written either in high level language or in, say, low level language such as assembly language, neither of these programs are understood by the computer. The one and the only language which a computer can understand and interpret is the machine language or the binary language. The computer expects all instructions to be in the form of zeros and ones, but we cannot write the programs directly in zeros and ones, because even a simple instruction, a small instruction, would require hundreds of zeros and ones in a specific order only. It is just unimaginable for us to write programs directly in zeros and ones. So we prefer writing the programs either using assembly language or writing the programs using high level language. So in order to make, it is the computer which has to execute our programs. In order to make computer understand our programs, the computer understands, unfortunately, only one language, that is the machine language, that are the binary language. So we cannot directly write the programs in machine language. So what we would do, we would be using a specific type of programs called as translators to be able to convert or translate our programs into computer understandable language, that is machine language. So that program is referred to as a translator, and depending upon whether the user has chosen high level language or assembly language to write his or her program, then we are supposed to use either a compiler or we are supposed to use an assembler. So basically, for the programs that are written in high level language, we have two types of translators. In order for them to get translated into machine language, we have two translators, namely compiler and interpreter. While assembler, we have another type of translator called as assembler. An assembler translates the programs written in assembly language into machine language. So we have two translators to translate the programs that are written in high level language into machine language, namely compiler and interpreter. Now you should know what is how compiler and interpreter are different. Remember, the input to both of these types of translators is a high level language program. The output of these two translators is machine language. So there is absolutely no difference in the input or in the output. So how they are different then? So the compiler, what it does is, the whole program that is written by the user is translated into machine language in one go, and thereafter, and it generates the machine language equivalent in a separate file. This file is later on executed to give the necessary results. So we have two stages when we are making use of compiler, that is, translation is phase 1 and execution is phase 2. The whole program is translated in one shot, and in the next phase the program is executed. This is the working of compiler. Now let us come to interpreter. In case of interpreter, it will instead of translating the entire program into machine language, it would be translating first instruction into machine language. The very next moment it is executed. So first line translation, immediate execution. Then it will take up second instruction, translation and immediate execution. So it will never generate a separate file that contains all the machine code. So both translation and execution go side by side in case of interpreter. Now, which one of these two is faster? Naturally, compiler is faster. Why? Because complete translation is done in one phase and execution is done in another phase, whereas in case of interpreter, as translation and execution both go one after the other simultaneously, so it takes more time. So interpreters are slower compared to compilers. Now, for what programming languages we are supposed to use compiler, and for what type of high level languages we are supposed to use interpreter, we shall see now. We, the users, we do not have any freedom of choosing a particular compiler or a particular interpreter to translate my programs into machine language. So for few programming languages such as C, C++, there are a number of compilers that are available, and users are supposed to choose one of those compilers to compile their programs. Whereas for few languages such as BASIC, then Python, etc., there are interpreters. There are a number of interpreters. You are required to use one such interpreter to translate and execute the programs into machine language in case of interpreter. So, however, there is one language, that is Java, which will use both compiler as well as interpreter. So I shall be discussing about those concepts in my next video. Please subscribe to my channel and get notifications by clicking on the bell button. Thank you very much.